Hi, I'm Andrea. Thank you for joining me for this 30-minute yoga practice. Always nice to have a chair nearby. I don't think we'll use it specifically this practice, but it's a great option to have nearby. So if you've got a chair, I would bring that into the mix. A couple of blocks. Maybe you have some thick books that could substitute. A folded blanket, which might be the throw blanket from your couch, and it also could be just a thick enough bath towel. If you don't have a yoga mat, find an area that is carpeted, not too slippery, and you'll be fine. You can be barefoot as I am. You can keep your shoes on if that's more comfortable to you. And you can just situate yourself so that you're able to see me, and I will situate myself so that you're able to see me best also. I do have my dog with me today. It's possible that you will meet her before we're done. Starting as we do in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Feet hip distance, palms face away from one another. Ears over shoulders over, hips over heels. We stand tall. It's here that we stop so that we can start. Notice that your chin is parallel to the ground. And feel your breath rise and fall. If you're able, let it rise and fall through just your nose. And if that's not working for you, no problem. I'd just like you to become aware of your breathing, no matter how it is that you're breathing. We'll add movement here. Inhale, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Exhale, float your arms along your side. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, V shape. Float your arms along your side. Half salutations. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, and then exhale, hinge at your hips. Take your hands and place them on your thighs. Inhale, traction, length through your spine. It's not that you're throwing your chin forward, your whole spine gets long. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. Float your arms, palms facing out along your side. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, more hinge into your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. Float your arms along your sides. Pause here. One more time. Inhale, V shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold and place your hands on your thighs. Inhale, traction, some length through your spine, and then exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Float your arms along your sides. Step just a little bit wider than hip distance. And then you'll come up onto your left toes and reach across your body with your left arm as if you were reaching to shake hands with someone. I know we don't do that these days. But you're reaching for something on at the cupboard. And you're doing that by turning from the waist. And we'll do that to the other side. So you come through center, spin on your right toes, reach your right arm across your body, but you're not turning your head so much as you're turning your torso. We want to work these oblique, these side waist muscles. Come through center, switch it out, onto the left toes, reach across your body. Back through center, over to the right, reach across from your waist. We'll go side to side like this. Be sure that you're spinning on the opposite toe, so onto the ball of the foot, and that your reach is soft and it's coming from your waist, and that you're breathing through the whole flow of it. We're reaching across our bodies, and we're better understanding how it is that we want to reach for things in our life. Cultivating awareness and muscles where we need them. One more side to side, and then return to your mountain. So you may want to step your feet more to that hip distance stance. Palms face out, and we gaze at what we call our bright horizon. We'll want to situate props for this next bit. So if you're using blocks, you could place your blocks on the far away long edge of your mat, so they're not underfoot. You may or may not end up using these blocks for what we're going to do today, but have them there in case it's of interest. The other option is that you can shift your chair so that your seat is right in the middle, not in the middle of your mat, but in the middle of the length of your mat, not underfoot. And then step onto your mat, arms reach out, thumbs to the sky, and we want to measure basically that we're ankles underneath wrists. And then turn your right leg out from its hip so that your right foot is facing what would be the short edge of your mat, or maybe it actually is if you've got a mat. Cheat your left heel back at a 45-degree angle. Thumbs to the sky, bend your front knee, and just make sure that the knee and ankle are in a vertical line before we go any further. Take your right forearm across your thigh and your left thumb to the sky. I think most of us will find that this is the best option, the forearm across the thigh. It could be that you find your tall block and put your right hand on the tall block on the outside of your right foot. So if you're moving in that direction, terrific, but the forearm across the thigh is excellent, and you could even put your right hand on the seat of your chair if you love that. Now weave your top arm behind your back so you'll turn your left thumb down and then take the back of your left hand to the small of your back. You might even kind of scooch it into the crease of your hip there if that feels good in your body. And you can sort of cop a feel a little bit that your right hip is tucking underneath you and your right thigh bone is moving over towards the right, whether that's a karate chop of your forearm or maybe you're pressing your thigh bone against your arm with your hand on your block. We're twisting. We're twisting from the waist. I know it doesn't look like what we just did standing, but it's the same group of muscles. And we want to make sure that we're not trying to do it with our neck and our chin, so that stays parallel to the ground. Just 2 moments here. Now look down, unwind your left arm, thumb to the sky, firm through your belly and come up into your warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Carefully move your prop off the side so it's not underfoot and turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. Make sure you're landed. Turn your left leg out so that your toes all face that short edge of your mat. Cheat your right heel at a 45-degree angle, thumbs to the sky, bend your front knee, and we're in our warrior 2 stance. Left forearm across the thigh, right thumb to the sky. Now you can stay just like this. In the past, this is mostly what we've done. I've recently introduced that maybe left hand on the tall block or left hand on the seat of your chair might be of interest. Now make the bottom ribs long. Right thumb faces down, back of your right hand to the small of your back, and we're finding a twist with length to it. Not a twist in our neck. The other thing we want to be careful of is that we don't have our shoulders collapsed into our ears. So think of spinning the inner upper arms away from one another. And if you want to move that right hand into the crease of your hip, fine. Not all of us will feel that that's where it wants to be. Left hip hugging underneath you. Back leg strong like it's in a mountain pose. And just a couple moments here. Look down so that it's a little easier to figure out where we are. Free your right thumb to the sky, arm to the sky. Firm through your belly, come upright, thumbs to the sky in warrior 2. Straighten your front leg. Be cautious to move that block out of your way and turn all toes to face the long edge of your mat. Make sure you're solid before we heel toe, and return to our hip distance and to our mountain. Mindful prop movement again. Ready? Take your blocks, if that's in fact what you like to use, and place them on either side of your mat but not underfoot. You'll want to relocate your chair if it's the seat of your chair that you like to use. So you'll move that from the middle of your mat to the front of your mat. And then mountain pose in between your blocks. Again, I repeat myself, not underfoot, so we're not tripping on our props. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen your spine. You can take your hands to the seat of your chair, or to your tall blocks and step your left foot back. Now in this pose we want some sideways space, so you might carefully heel toe your right foot to the right a little bit. So if you had flashlights on your hip bones, they would both be facing that front edge of your mat. And stay here and find a long spine. Stay here and return to your breath. And maybe decide to stay here altogether. Option to keep your left hand either on your block or carefully on the seat of your chair. You probably want it a little closer than mine happens to be towards me right now. Right thumb to the sky, we find a different kind of twist. But here we are back into those oblique side waist muscles. Spin the inner upper arms away from each other so we don't crowd shoulders into ears. And then just feel into this. Maybe it's interesting to turn your right thumb down and weave that top arm behind your back here. If it feels like it's encouraging a collapse, just keep the thumb to the sky so that you feel a little bit like there's a string in that arm keeping you buoyant. Enjoy your twist for a few silent moments. If you did weave the arm, take your right arm to the sky, thumb to the sky. Return your right hand onto your block, firm through your belly, and then step your left foot hip distance from your right. Hands to thighs, inhale length. Exhale, increase the hinge at your hips without your head getting lower than your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Float your arms along your side, palms face out. Second side, inhale, arms out and up, V-shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips and hands to your thighs. Inhale, traction, lengthen to your spine and place your hands on your seat or on your blocks. This time, step your right foot back so that your left foot is forward. And if it was helpful, you can inch the left foot to the left carefully. If you had flashlights on your hip bones, they'd be facing the front edge of your mat. So it means left hip drawing back a bit, right hip drawing forward a bit. Find that length through your spine as if we were standing in our mountain, and feel free to stay here. Option to keep your right hand on your block or the seat of your chair. Left thumb to the sky, you twist it open, and we're still using those muscles to twist. Option to turn your left thumb down and weave that top arm behind your back. If that's crumbling your shoulders into your ears or just doesn't feel like your move today, honor that and stay with what feels good. We meditate in this shape for a few moments. Your breath is the most important part of the whole thing. If you have your arm behind your back, float your left thumb to the sky and then your left hand onto your block, onto the seat of your chair, firm through your belly. Step your right foot hip distance from your left, hands to your thighs, inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Return to your mountain. Pause and breathe. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands come to your thighs. Inhale, traction that extraordinary length to your spine. Place your hands on your chair or on your blocks and step your left foot back. This time we go from our lunge to a pyramid pose. So start to straighten the front leg and turn your back foot carefully on its side. Heel toe the right foot to the right a little bit if that's helpful. Draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. We're not rounding in our back. And this one in particular, really be sure that your head is not dipping lower than your hips. Super important. So that means maybe you place your hands on your chair because it encourages you to stay upright and long through your spine. Great to stay here. Option to keep your left hand on your block, right thumb to the sky, and we twist it open. If you're enjoying that wrap, turn the right thumb down and weave that arm behind your back. But you want to be careful that it doesn't convince your right hip to swing out to the right. So keep drawing that right hip back. Find a place where it doesn't feel like your shoulders are collapsed or collected into your ears. And then just stay for a few breaths in this current shape. if you have the arm behind your back. Free your right thumb to the sky. And then return your right hand to your block and bend your right knee. Spin on your back toes. We're in a lunge. Step your left foot hip distance from your right and bring your hands to your thighs. Traction as you inhale, length through your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips, and then inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Float your arms along your side. Second side, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your spine and place your hands on your chair or your blocks. Step your right foot back. We start in our lunge position, and it becomes a pyramid as we straighten the front leg and turn our back foot flat. Now continue to think of your left hip drawing back, your right hip drawing forward. Nobody's head lower than their hips. So much spaciousness and length in the spine. And you're able to breathe with ease. Option to stay here, or option to keep your right hand on your block or your chair, left thumb to the sky as we turn it open. And if you like it, left thumb faces down, left arm behind your back. Now be careful that that doesn't have you swinging your left hip out to the side. It's not that that's horrible, but it means that we no longer have the obliques, those side waist muscles, doing the twisting, and that's kind of our story, and we're sticking to it for this practice. We want to be ahead of the curve there. Last couple of moments, just like this. Unravel your left thumb to the sky, and then left hand onto your block. Spin on your back toes, bend your front knee. Step right foot hip distance from left, hands to thighs, inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. Float your arms along your sides. Inhale, arms out and up, V shape, and then exhale, hinge at your hips. Hands to thighs, inhale, get long. Hands onto your chair or onto your blocks. Step your left foot back, and this time lower your back knee, which might mean slide that folded blanket underneath your knee. Make sure that it feels okay. Thumbs to the sky, V shape overhead. Now here as well, we're not letting that right hip swing out to the side. We want to hug that right hip in, and then just turn to your right. Now this time we don't have any leverage. We don't have our hand on a block, so it may not go as far. That's fine. You can actually feel that you have to use those muscles for the twist. You don't get to use a lever outside. Just 2 moments here, inhaling and growing tall. Exhaling, increasing our twist. Now unwind, thumbs stay to the sky, hands onto your blocks, straighten your front leg, dig your heel in and curl the toes back towards you, and remind yourself that we want to find that long spine here. So it's a hinge at the hips, a stretch into the back of our right leg. This is plenty. You could keep your left hand on your block, right thumb to the sky, take a twist. If you want to weave that arm with the back of your right hand against the small of your back, or weave it behind, you can. But again, remind that right hip it wants to go back, not swing out to the side. 2 moments here. Free your right thumb to the sky. Take your right hand onto your block and rebend your right knee. We'll stay low. So swoop your right knee next to your left knee. I have my hands on my blocks, that's helpful. You may want that folded blanket for the second side, so give yourself all the support that you need. And then step your left foot forward. So we're in our low lunge on this side. Thumbs to the sky, V shape overhead. Keep hugging that left hip back and right hip forward, and then find your turn, and this is that humbling turn where there's no leverage. It means that we're really building muscles and also an awareness, so that when we do turn and reach for that thing off the counter, or reach for the bag of groceries, or for a hug from our grandkids, we remember to use those muscles. 2 more. Unwind and thumbs stay to the sky. Bring your hands then onto your blocks and straighten your left leg. Dig your heel in, curl your toes back towards you. prioritize length through the spine. Keep your breath steady and be willing to just stay here if this feels the best. Option to keep the right hand on your block, left thumb to the sky as we twist open, and you might even turn your left thumb down and leave that arm behind your back, but you want to keep your left hip drawing back as you do that. Free your left arm to the sky, thumb to the sky. Left hand on your block, bend your front knee, and then just swoop onto hands and knees. Let your blocks go off to the side. Might be a good time to place that folded blanket underneath your knees. Maybe it's already there. Hands and knees, you want to make sure that you're aligned. Shoulders over wrists. I'm going to face you a little bit more so that you can see what I'm up to here. Right arm up to the sky, thumb to the sky. Swoop that right arm underneath you and then gently rest the right side of your head onto the ground. This is nothing radical. It's just a really sweet little twist, and we're not here long. Keep breathing. If it feels better to have your head on something like your folded blanket or a block, you could do that. But again, we're not here long, so I think you're going to be okay. Unwind. Other side. So just make sure you've got your shoulders over your wrist, left arm, thumb to the sky. Swoop it underneath, and you'll come to the left side of your head and sort of onto that left shoulder a little bit, but just feel into it where it doesn't feel like it's anything prickly or sharp. Again, not long here, and if it's not your pose, come out of it before I mention coming out of it for sure. Press into your right hand, bring yourself up to hands and knees, pause. Find your folded blanket. And you'll want it to be folded enough that it feels like it's giving you a little bit of a bench. We'll come into our side saddle twist. So situate your right sit bone onto your folded blanket, and then as if we were riding side saddle, right foot comes close to that left thigh. I like to often place a block underneath my right hand because it reminds me to stay tall. Left thumb to the sky. Grow tall and twist towards your right. Take the back of your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. And you're not forcing anything, you're just encouraging. As you inhale, you grow tall. And as you exhale, you get a little bit more rotation through your spine here. Stay with it for a few more moments. Unwind slowly. Come through center. Place your feet on the ground and then just take it to the second side. So you'll want to re-sitch your left hip onto your folded blanket. Find your side saddle legs. Perhaps take your block underneath your left hand now. Right thumb to the sky. Turn towards your left. Take your the back of your right hand onto the outside of your left thigh. And then a little twist here. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, a little bit more rotation through the spine. And then gently unwind from this side. Bend your knees and place your feet onto your mat. We'll want to get rid of our props off to the side. So again, mindfulness as we move, not just our bodies, but our props off to the side, and we'll come off of our perch. Reclining pigeon. So as you lie down, cross right ankle on top of left thigh. It can stay just like this. You could put your left foot onto a block. Maybe you interlace around your hamstring or you interlace around your shin. But see if you can feel the back of your head and your shoulder heads melt into the ground. Some people like to actually put their folded blanket underneath their head or even your block underneath your head here. We want to eliminate the struggle. A couple moments here. Do curl back those right toes so you're not collapsed at that ankle. Now carefully release this side, place both feet on your mat and switch it. Left ankle on top of right thigh, plenty of oomph as you curl those toes back, and then it can stay here. You can elevate the right foot, or you can reach through the space and either interlace around your hamstring or around that shin. And then let your tongue feel like it's already in Shavasana. And your jaw. Softness behind the eyes. Gently and slowly release this side. Walk your feet as wide as your mat and let your knees fall in on each other a bit. Shimmy one shoulder blade and then the other underneath you. Ever so carefully lift your hips an inch, not high, just an inch, so you create space as you lower them back. And either stay like this or extend one leg and then the other and let your feet flop open. Fall into the arms of the earth and into your Shavasana. Eyes closed, maybe covered. Let yourself let go. Always welcome to stay here in Shavasana as long as you'd like. If you're ready to start to find your way back, move your fingers and toes. You can stretch in opposite directions. Bend your knees and place your feet on your mat. Roll carefully to either side. Let the strength of your arms bring you to any comfortable seat. palms up or down on your lap. Just enjoy the aftermath, how you feel. Take this feeling of being a little ahead of the curve, aware of how we move, into our movements in our life, too. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I look forward to us doing it again together soon.